Marvel Secret Invasion Episode 2. Even better than the first one. A lot of big surprise in this episode. A lot of things to discuss, including, but not limited to, War Machine, Traitor, or no, after the credits. Hey guys, Brent here for Geek Variants with the man, the myth, the Marvel, the guy whose opinion you actually care about in this video because this is his bread and butter, Marvel properties. If you're subscribed, you already know he knows exactly what the hell he's talking about. So without further ado, Will, tell me what we need to know. Marvel Secret Invasion Episode 2, your thoughts.
I know some stuff, not all stuff. We want to see what Marvel's going to, pull out their bag and how they're going to change up stories from comics, so on and so forth. But literally, as we're getting into it, we're coming off the death of Maria Hill. And one first thing that I see is we get her mother. Usually in the comics and what I've been versed is, we've always seen her father, who has changed his name several times throughout the comics since she became a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent to kind of hide away, so to speak, because they didn't have like the best relationship. So actually seeing her mother on screen was a bit of a surprise. Did not expect to see that. As far as them talking about Maria Hill, yes, she would die for Nick Fury in a heartbeat. Like, that is how dedicated she is to making sure that Nick Fury gets the job done, whatever it takes. The biggest thing right now is Gravik and Rhodey. So with Gravik, we see him positioned to talk with all the world leaders, which are Skrulls in disguise. We don't know when they've been replaced, how long they've been there. You've got Madam Prime Minister, you've got the general, you got looks like the president's in there, freaking commander of NATO. There's so many key positions that are taken over and now heavily influenced by Skrull. Like, this is literally, secret wars, like freaking just all types of wars about to break out. Like, this is about to get ridiculous if they don't put a pin in it quick. Now, the thing about Gravik, though, when he became the Skrull General through the unanimous and stuff, you saw he was kind of standoffish about one that he let slide, which was Shirley, which supposedly looks like his actual sister or something to that effect. Not quite sure. That may be the key point that may be used against him at some point in time. Not sure, but she is in, cahoots to a degree with Talos. So we got to see how that pans out. So I'm curious about that relationship and how it's gonna affect everything going forward from here. Rosa Dalton is the scientist that's working on something, and from everything that I see that she's working on, from the files and stuff that were pulled out, there's a lot of stuff going there that kind of allude to Fantastic Four, Super Skrulls, and everything in that realm. They actually have key DNA from Cull Obsidian, from Groot. They have a sample of the Extremis and Frost Beast. So the thing about Super Skrulls, the ones that was Fantastic Four. That was I don't know if I'm saying right. Kurt. That one is the one that had all the Fantastic Four powers and was stronger than all the Fantastic Four. Like, was able to use all the powers a lot more effectively. But Super Skrulls, just in general, they take a myriad of powers from different Marvel characters and they just combine them into characters. So there's ones that had a couple of the X-Men powers. There's ones that had a couple of the Avengers powers. There's ones that had a couple of the Defenders powers. Like, all this stuff is just kind of ramping up. So now that we got Super Skrulls on the horizon, I don't know how this is going to get any better right now. And Rhodey. Rhodey is the biggest catalyst I see to the flip right now. And I think he's more important than the Super Skrull, because we kind of know where it's going with Super Skrulls. Rhodey's allegiance, where it lies, what's going on with him, and what is he about to do. Like, I still think Rhodey's a hero, don't get me wrong, but he's got to do what he has to do to protect the interests of America and the government, and he knows that Nick Fury can handle himself. So putting Nick Fury out to dry, so to speak, that's something that I don't think is any sweat off, Rhodey's back. It's just like, I'll put him out there, figure it out. We can do damage control here, figure out what's going on, and we'll meet back up on the other side of this or whatever's going on and continue business as usual. Because there's no way you're going to get rid of your best asset because you see how Nick Fury handled himself when dude just tried to push him out, just going snap, crackle, and pop, and he left on his own accord. So that was fantastic. I am hyped. And I got one more thing I'm at the end of this, but I'm gonna set up for now. Like I'm really hyped about this episode.
It was absolutely phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about this. Reeks of what Star Wars Andor did with its spy espionage, but with a Marvel flair, which is going back to Marvel's old roots, the roots that were working, not the roots that have been hit and miss. We've had series that have been absolutely fantastic, like Loki, and then we've had a bunch of busts along the way, which are too numerous to list. And a lot of us have been Marvel slowly dying. Marvel's trying to hop inside the box that Maria Hill's now in. Unfortunately for everyone who's trying to put Marvel out to dry, it's come back to life better than ever, it would seem. And honestly, Super Scroll sounds amazing because if you're someone like me or someone like you who's played, Marvel versus Capcom 3, that's how I got familiar with what Super Scroll was, one of the playable characters. Very enjoyable set of powers, good list, good character overall, anyway. But at the same time, bringing that forth to the Marvel Cinematic Universe with everything that they have going on and all the powers that they've already introduced into this world, we could have some absolutely insane things. And I thought that they were panning on that camera for a little bit longer than what was needed to get that shot because I thought it was going to be more of an Easter egg as far as the list of the people that they've already captured. But I think that Talos' daughter, Gaia, is more than conflicted at this point in time. She is completely in a wash or in a blender, so to speak. Her mom's dead. Her dad, she's trying to help out, but she gave him the wrong information. Now Gravik has slowly risen above everyone with on the planet easily, and without us knowing where the Avengers are at this point in time, who is going to really be the one to stop this? We have to hope Nick Fury's got something in the bag, and that you know, age is not going to destroy him because he's old, and so Talos is going to have to do something extra special to ensure that everything gets back into the position that it needs to be. And the fact that he is a failed general will help us to see more and more of his character and who he truly was. Because we only got a glimpse of it in Captain Marvel. So now that we're getting this in a more well fleshed out format, hopefully it's longer than 6 episodes, but I believe it is only the 6 episodes. So far, we're a third of the way in. Thoroughly pleased. What is your last point you wanted to discuss pertaining to this property?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Nick Fury's love life.
She looked a lot like a certain Monica Rambeau's mom. It looked like there was a little bit of family history there. I know it's not related, but it just had enough of a flair that I was like, hmm, I want to spin a web there, but there's not any information to back up what I'm speculating here.
Look, she's a scroll. She's there. He's in love with the scroll. So he's fighting this war on more than just, two fronts. Whereas out in the open, trying to figure out what's going on with Gravik, as well as dealing with whatever's going on with his government and Rhodey. But now he's got a third thing to worry about as far as relationship and stuff with this scroll woman who I don't know how long he's been in a relationship with her, how long they've been around, but they're married. She made sure that he put that ring on when he came home. But now this kind of begs it, like, when did this happen? He's been going off to do sword and saber stuff for quite a long time. So was she there? Did this happen after he got back? Are there any kids in this process? Like, what's going on? I don't think Talos is going to survive at the end of this, so to speak. I think he's just going to be, burnt out or destroyed or something like that, or he's going to flip at some point. But Fury, I think he's going to end up losing more than he bargained for, and I think she's going to be one of the fatalities that go along with this entire thing. She's going to be a casualty of war, and it's not going to be pretty. And again, Nick Fury is not. He's there, but he's not all there. So what's going to give? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But yeah, they got this going really good. Like I'm excited.
And just there's so many elements just to play with that overall, and to have something this close to home, you hit the nail on the head there. Having a scroll as your wife, and honestly, I think she may have been the one who was the recruiter who brought in Gravik originally. I think the voice was similar, but I didn't get enough of a good look. I'll have to have a second watch through in order to try and compare who or what when that happened. but at the same time, everything's compelling. There's more questions than answers, and for once, it's all about the mystery of Marvel as opposed to what in the world is going on. Marvel, you hitting this one out of the park. I have nothing else to say to you.
So far, so good. Let's run it.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. You've been here around 10 minutes to listen to us just talk, ramble, discuss all things Marvel. We got tons of more amazing content for you, the viewer, coming up. We're going to leave you with a little videos in the meantime. I've been Brent. This is the man, the myth, the Marvel, the guy you came listen to, Will. We'll see you in the next one.